So in this video, we'll be completing the square of the following polynomial. So here we have x squared plus 6x minus 4 is equal to 0. In order to complete the square, we need to take first steps, and that is, basically we will look at the coefficient that is multiplied with the term of the highest power, meaning x squared here. And the coefficient multiplied with it, since we only have x squared there, it's basically 1. And then we need to look at the other coefficient, which is basically the one that is multiplied with x, and that is 6 here. And then after looking at that, when I have, so if the coefficient, we'll call this coefficient a, if a is equal to 1, then we will take the following steps. So that is my first condition. And the following steps will be, I'll rewrite my polynomial, so x squared plus 6x, but what I'll do here now is I will add a 0. And mathematicians usually add a 0, such as plus 1 minus 1, but in different forms. Now what I'll add here is the following 0. This plus the coefficient here that is multiplied with my x. So 6 divided by 2, and then I'll square this term right here. And then in order to add the 0, I'll also need to subtract by the same term that I just added, which is basically 6 divided by 2 to the power of 2. And then I continue writing on my polynomial, which is basically minus 4, and that is all equal to 0. And then now I can just easily write my binomial squared right here. And that is going to be parentheses x plus the coefficient that I just added, but non-squared, which is basically 6 over 2, and that is equivalent to 3 squared. And that basically replaces all of what I have here. Now minus, I'm going to have my also added term right here, but the negative one, minus 4. And I'm going to simplify these two terms right here, since I noticed that they're both constants. And that is going to be equal to 0. And then simplifying that, I'll get x plus 3 squared minus. And when I have a fraction squared, it means the numerator and the denominator, they're both going to be squared. So I'm going to have 36 squared over 2 squared. Or I can just do something easier. Well, not 36 squared, basically just 6 squared, which is 36. Or I can do something easier, is I'll do the operation that is inside the parentheses first, which is 6 over 2. And that is going to be 3. And then I'm going to square that. And that is going to be nothing but a 9 minus 4. That is going to be equal to 0.
If you got any unsolved problem in the world of numbers and equations, make sure to comment it down below and we can get it solved.
And then I can simplify this right here. And then I'm going to have a final answer. X plus 3 squared minus 13 is equal to 0. And that right here is going to be the final answer. And following the steps that I just did, we have completed the square for this polynomial.
Don't forget to subscribe to Sam's Education channel and hit the notifications bell to receive regular updates and access to a variety of solved exercises. See you in the next video.